Welcome to the Hostile Zone.
Use your voice, somebody hears you.
Welcome to the Hostile Zone. You're with the infamous and dangerous and always in your face, pulling back that curtain on waste, fraud, and abuse and societal issues. The one and only Eric Andrew Cinotti, Eric A. Cinotti with a real big A, and we all know why. Who?
Eric Cinotti, of course.
Right here on your iHeart dial, right here on Spotify, FM dial, multiple cable, stream life. If it's not on your cable TV, demand it. Well, it's another wonderful Hostile Zone. How are you, Miss Bianca?
I'm doing fabulous. I'm so psyched about the holidays that's coming up, all that family stress and everything getting...
Yeah,
I feel like so confident this year that everything is going smoothly. So I am so happy about that.
Shout out to my engineer in the room, Rose. Hello today. Nice and loud.
Hello.
Atlas, are you there? Say hi.
Hi.
And Max, say hi.
How you doing?
All right. Let's get into it. Good evening, America. I'm Eric A. Cinotti, and this is the Hostile Zone, where truth is our weapon and courage is our armor, and patriotism never, ever retreats. Tonight, we're going to war with something you can't see on a scan, something you won't find on a ballot, but you feel it. I promise you, you feel it and know it every day. It is isolation, stress, anxiety, things that we live up with and we know. And maybe some of us are open to talking about it and others are not. That quiet creepiness, heaviness tells you that you're alone. You're in a hostile world. You are, but you're not alone. We live in a time where we can't say one wrong word. Let's be real. You can't say one wrong word. You can't tell us a funny joke. Might be whatever, people get offended. You can't even relax in your own home without wondering who's watching. Let's be real. Big brother, and who's judging you or who's waiting to be offended. Let's be real. People are waiting to be offended. They really are. They want to start with you. People are walking on eggshells everywhere they go. At work, at work, at school, even at their own kitchen tables, Miss Bianca. Yeah. But there is no one weapon that censors can't fully control. One tool that cuts through the fear, folks, reconnects people and rebuilds you from the inside out. And you know, if you've been following recent shows with the Hostile Zone, we've been talking about from the inside. That weapon, folks, is humor. It's humor. The right kind of humor can start a relationship. It truly can. And it can keep that very relationship alive. In a calm, and it could be a calm where a veteran in the middle of a flashback, a joke. As a veteran, I understand this. Having a bad moment, somebody makes a joke, it's okay. It breaks the tension in a hospital room. Some people do it, and people feel it's off color, but it's not. Or a burnt out patient or doctor or nurse. You make people smile. That really is what humor is about. It's about making lighter of a situation, not making light of a situation. It's making the burden on your shoulder from the situation a little bit lighter. Used wisely, humor can lower your blood pressure.
I've heard that.
Strengthen your immune system, deepen your relationships, and literally add years to our lives. Used recklessly, though, which we know online, my bots and trolls that love to lie about me.
And the stalkers.
We know, and my stalkers, yes, and the hate mail and the death threats. Thank you. I appreciate them. Used recklessly, it can cost you your job. How many people got up there and danced about Charlie Kirk? Firstly, you're a fool for doing that. You're inhuman. Don't get me started. But you deserve losing your job. Bottom line.
I honestly think whoever does that type of video for a person to get killed is an idiot.
A moron. Absolute moron. Absolute moron.
Might as well stamp a moron sticker right on your forehead.
Right there. Stamp it on moron.
While you're dancing, saying, I'm a moron.
And I had a previous show on Eric A. Cinotti Unplugged, and I had my guest on, and we were talking about targets in the community and political targets and people who have targets literally on their head. It's the hostility and dehumanizing somebody, turning them from a human to something that you can destroy. Terrible. So we know that jokes can do that too. They can ruin your reputation and hurt people you love. Mm-hmm. So tonight we're asking the hard questions. And we always do. What still is safe to laugh at in 2025?
I still laugh at everything, to be honest.
You laugh at everything. Where is the line between humor and heals and humor that harms? And how do we use that humor as a tool to survive in a world that every day is getting more hostile? But before I even discuss tonight's guest, I want to introduce the heartbeat of this whole operation, the one who keeps us grounded in compassion and reality. She is the calm to the storm, and trust me, am I a storm, Rose? Right? I could be a storm. She is the calm to the storm, the grace to the grit, and the warmth to the light in the world that keeps getting darker. She is the American wife, the American mother, and the American heart. Miss Bianca C. S.E.A., like the ocean, the conscious of the hostile zone. Welcome, Miss Bianca.
Thank you. I'm always ready. Bianca C., that's me. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah. That's good.
Well, you know what? Just to let you know, I'm always ready, Eric. Families across America are exhausted. They're stressed, overwhelmed, and so many feel like they're one bad day away from breaking. Sometimes the only thing that keeps a family together is being able to laugh together. Right?
Isn't that right? A family. I believe the statement is, I've heard, a family that eats together at dinner and whatever, stays together. But I think a family that can laugh together. I think a family that can laugh together. And we know on this show, with everybody here, a good joke is the way to go. That's how we keep it moving here, because it's rough.
But today, people are scared. They don't know what's okay to say or what might hurt someone they love. So tonight, I want us to help people use humor in a way that heals, not harms. So let's get to it.
We're going to get to it. So with that, Bianca, you're the heartbeat. What can I say? The families, you're the reminders of the show. I needed to get that out there. So let's talk about our fabulous guest tonight.
Okay.
Dr. Lou Franzini, America's guest, lives at the intersection of science, psychology, and laughter, which I am really, really excited to talk to him because I like all the above. I'm honored to introduce Dr. Lou Franzini as a clinical psychologist, one of the nation's leading experts on how humor transforms your relationships, your health, and your happiness. Dr. Franzini earned his BS, Bachelor of Science, and a PhD in clinical psychology from the University of Pittsburgh. Shout out to Pennsylvania, Jersey in the house here. Sorry, buddy. With a master's in preclinical psychology from the University of Toledo. He completed a postdoctoral fellowship, a man after my own heart with all this education, a fellowship in behavioral modification at Stony Brook University in New York. I actually took a few classes there. He joined the faculty, a fellow faculty member, at San Diego State University, rising through the ranks to emeritus professor of psychology. You got to tell me how to do that, sir, how I can earn that. Throughout his career, he has authored more than, ready for this, 100 academic books.
Wow.
Yep. And major articles, 32 book reviews, and 13 continuing education courses. And sir, I am a continuing education course creator and instructor, so we'll have that to talk about. He published 5 books. Man, this guy is amazing. 5 books with traditional publishers, and is licensed to practice psychology in both California and Florida. He served as an exchange professor. Now he got me beat. I don't know if I should have, to the staff, you should have vetted this guy. I don't want anybody with better education than me.
Just kidding.
He served as a professor exchange with Belgium and Singapore. We want to hear about that. And he consulted with the United States Peace Corps. I'm a fan.
Wow.
With the Jamaica Project, which, sir, I am aware of. So but he just doesn't study humor. He actually is a stand-up comedian. So I'm hoping he's going to make us laugh. He's a comedian across the United States, several places. His latest book.
So he's got brains and comedy.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
All right. Yeah, I know. Cool. Yeah. Oh, I'm in trouble. How humor helps. Enhancing your relationships, your health, your happiness is a powerful guide to using humor wisely in a world where rules, and we hate rules. The rules change and the stakes are ever rising. and the connection has never mattered more.
Mhm.
America and my fans, please welcome scientist of the mind, a student of culture and practitioner of laughter, Dr. Lou Franzini.
Hello, sounds really good. I'm impressed.
I'm impressed. I'm a little jealous. I gotta get some advice from you. Gotta get some advice.
I think I heard you say that I had over 100 books. It's 100 academic articles.
That's what I meant. Yes, typo. And actually, to be fair, I actually read my guest stuff before you come on. So I did read some of your stuff, and I do know about the Jamaica Project.
Oh, yeah.
I'm barred from ever being involved with Peace Corps, but I've dealt with NGOs before, and I'm familiar with that project. So,
Yeah, that was an interesting experience for me too.
Yeah,
we did part of it in San Diego.
Yes, and I trained in San Diego. Yeah, and did you do stand up there too?
Yeah, I did that. And also at the what's the name of the club for veterans?
Oh, I can't remember. I was in Coronado for a while. I'm trying to place.
Well, I can't remember the name of the.
Well, you know, let's start off. Give us a funny joke. Give me something. You can even make fun of me. A lot of people do it.
No, I'm not going to make fun of you. That wouldn't be a good idea. You're the one holding the cameras and the microphones.
I'm actually not. They're in charge, not me. I'm just here. Yeah, sir, give us a joke. Sorry.
A joke?
Yeah, if you like.
Everybody says humor is the best medicine, and that's true, of course, unless you have diarrhea.
Very true. Wow. I love a good diarrhea joke. Thank you. So do you want me to call you Doc?
I would have guessed it.
What would you like me to call you? Doc, Dr. Lou Franzini, Dr. Franzini? What are you comfortable with?
You can call me Lou. We're getting to be friendly now.
Thank you. All right. But your name is up there. For the folks out there that are listening or watching, the ticker screen on the bottom has his information. And also all your information in your books will be available in the show description.
And all my books are on Amazon, and
yes, we'll put that out for you. Yeah,
and,
awesome.
I just did a review. I've done some reviews recently in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, which is my old hometown.
Are you a Steelers fan?
Yeah, Steelers. Well, when I was there, to be fair, and the same with the Pirates. Now I'm with the Padres and the Jaguars.
You're a baseball fan? You're a baseball guy too? I'm Yankees all the way. It doesn't matter where I live.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, all the way.
I actually played some baseball up through the junior legion.
Me too. I played minor league ball. Did you? Well, we got to talk offline.
Junior legion.
Really? And I played D1 too. Wow.
And yeah, I'm just talking to somebody about that the other day, and I regretted dropping out of that.
You've got a fabulous career. I mean, Lou, come on.
Well, this was early on. It was after high school, and I was I took a job in a supermarket, and I remember very clearly. The coach called me on the phone and said that, "Well, Lou, get ready. You're going to play Beaver Falls, which is a well-known team,
right.
And more people know about Beaver Falls than where I was coming from, New Brighton, which is just across the river." But anyway, I said, "Well, sorry, I'm working at the market Friday night," and so on. So I actually dropped out of and I never really checked out of how good I could get or where I could get a college scholarship or something. And so I took a job at this supermarket and this is some time ago, you understand, 75 cents an hour.
Wow.
Was what I was working, and eventually worked my way up to $1.35 an hour. But I stayed there, and I even worked. I had a master's degree, and I was still sweeping the sidewalk in front of the store.
There's nothing wrong with earning your keep, right? Yeah, never be afraid. So this is what I like to do. I didn't mean to cut you off, but what I like to do is we're going to have segments. But I want to give you another minute to talk about yourself. There's something I didn't discuss in the intro that the folks might want to know about you.
Well, I have a pretty varied career. As you said, I've always been at the same university my whole life and an employee as a professor. And I did private practice in California alongside and supervised students in their therapy. We had a joint doctoral program with UC San Diego. So we had students in both places. I supervised these students in their therapy. And one of the funny things that I remember about that is one of my students, his patient had a MRI X-ray of the brain because there was some questions about his, and the report was written that he had a brain X-ray and they found nothing.
There's a joke. I got the joke.
Yeah, but that was what he actually had put down in the medical notes.
Right.
Patients and brain X-rays. Now he didn't tell the patient that, but this was in the official notes. So there's some fun in psychology with.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
You're still faculty, right?
Retired now from San Diego State.
What do you think of the PsyD program? It's not on my notes. You just made me think of something because I do a lot of education myself, and I was actually moving on for another doctorate, and I was looking at that.
The PsyD it was founded to give more emphasis to practitioners,
Right.
whereas the PhD in psychology gives you training in therapy too, in clinical psychology, but it's also more science based.
Right.
So
I say this because I have forensic training and forensic interviewing. I have the ability to go back and continue. And I really am asking honestly because people always have their opinion, but a guy with your background, I was thinking of the PsyD. I already have a JD. I was thinking of the PsyD because I could help with the veteran population. And that would be more clinical in directly helping out.
And they were very underserved at this point. I did my internship and training in the Veterans Administration.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. We need you. Thank you.
They're understaffed there. And I know friends who are veterans and they can't get appointments for 6 weeks or 6 months.
It's not. You're the guest. Don't get me started. You're the guest, but I could go on for that one. Yeah.
That's a good place to work. So the idea is if you want to be primarily a practitioner or a therapist, then the PsyD is usually a good program. You get that training in a PhD program as well, but there's more emphasis on the research, and you do a research
dissertation and all that nonsense, right? Yeah. I'd rather do the work. And actually, I don't care about the licensure, honestly, Doc or Lou. I would just like to be able to know because I volunteer a lot with the programs. So I would like to know. I mean, we could talk offline after. I would really like to pick your brain because you truly are an amazing academic, an amazing person.
Well, thank you. And interesting, we're talking about humor, but humor is not very well respected in the academic world. And so,
it's not. Yeah. How did you make to emeritus? How did you get that far?
Well, once you have tenure, you can they want you to still be productive and do research and publish and so on. But you can do the topics to study on your own choice. And we did the students and with colleagues and so on. One of the things we did was look at the postings outside of faculty's door.
As a faculty member, I can attest to some things that are left there. Yeah.
Yeah. Get reach tenure, and that by being productive and a decent teacher and so on, and no felonies accrued.
Right.
That you get tenure, and then you can still be productive, but you can study what you want to study. And I was interested in humor early on. And one of the things we did was just go around and look at all the faculty members, what postings they had outside their door. So by definition, it was a way that they were communicating to anybody that came by, just walking by, or students or colleagues or other professors in other fields. And we categorized them and published them.
Oh, that must be fascinating. You know what's funny? You never rate my professors? I had chili peppers. I actually in 2006 was top 25 hottest professor in the United States. It was on 06.
Oh, good.
Some of the comments, like you was making jokes about outside door, some of the comments kind of got little whatever. The hostile zone right here on your iHeart dial, folks, right here with Dr. Lou Franzini. So Lou, we're going to break into segment question, and I'm going to ask a question. We're going to go back and forth, and then Miss Bianca will ask a question. Very fun and flowing and whatever, okay?
Absolutely.
Sure.
So segment one is the original story, science, the science of humor. Dr. Franzini, let me start at the beginning, truly. Where did you first realize that humor just wasn't funny, but it truly was clinically powerful?
Well, once I was doing a little on my own, I was a president of a Toastmasters International Club,
Ooh, nice, nice.
and it was some clubs are general and some are have specific interest. And
Wow.
at the time, I don't know if this has changed since then. It was the only Toastmasters International Club in the world that specialized in humor. Some of
Really?
them, they specialize in history or cooking
Where
or
was this out of, Doc? Where was this?
in San Diego.
Okay.
And so I was the president of that, and I was doing that on the side. And actually, my wife was president of a club on her campus. She was a tennis player at San Diego State,
Wow.
and that's my current wife. That is, um, and
Oh, we'll leave it there. I guess she didn't have a humor the first one, huh?
and we actually she was president of the Toastmasters club at the university.
Wow.
And we actually had joint sessions of the club members, that is, and she had an interest in humor, and we both are interested in tennis. She was on the tennis team there, and I was a club player, and I still am actually. I played the national senior games in Des Moines in August.
Really? Wow.
And,
you are quite the guest. I am thrilled that you're here. I really am. I didn't know the Toastmasters. Are you still involved with that?
No, no. When I left town, after getting retiring, I stopped. It was a good experience, though, because Toastmasters they teach you how to speak more effectively. And
I've been wanting to do it for years. You're one of the people. I want to talk to you about that at the end too.
Yeah, I would say do it. I mean, there's probably clubs in your community, but some may specialize, some may not. And you give speeches and you listen to speeches, and they give you good criticism about how you do it, or should you do this more, or is it something less, and so on. And we had in ours, since it's specialized in humor, there were humorous speeches, and we had contests doing that, and sometimes with other clubs. So it does improve your public speaking and your use of humor, and particularly humor you would give a speech about and talk about, and not be offensive to anybody. And so I highly recommend it. It was a great experience.
Quite a history, Doc. Yeah. Quite a history. Miss Bianca's got a follow-up question for you here.
Yes, Dr.
Sure.
Lou. When you started studying humor professionally, what surprised you most about how it affects people day to day?
Oh, that's good. Good question.
Yeah. Well, first, you first think about, it's funny and people laugh and so on. But as you get into the field, you learn the really positive things that come out of participating in humor and just listening to humor. There are many benefits. It's sort of, and if you try it yourself, it's like any new skill. You'll stumble and bumble, but you can learn and improve and get feedback to how you're doing. And that's one of the reasons the Toastmasters organization is a very good one.
Yeah.
Then as you learn to study it, there are actual benefits to the humorist, as well as anybody that may hear him or her. And there are both physical benefits and psychological benefits. Some people refer it to as mental humor being a mental erogenous zone, meaning that it's can be a turn on as well as.
All right, we're going down that road. I like it, Doc. I like it. You got me hooked. You got me hooked.
I know. Yeah. Well, get you an application. So if you study a bit, then you learn the many benefits that are available to people who appreciate humor and who try it out for themselves. You don't have to try it out on the stage anywhere. That's a whole different world. But with your friends, with strangers,
Right.
that I find a special fun way to interact. I used to work in a supermarket, so I feel comfortable in any supermarket, and I meet all kind of people there. And I'm just.
You seem like the guy that'll talk to anybody. And I'm like that. I get that about you. We would get along really well.
Right. And I try to interject some humor to it too. One example that I can just give you is that I saw this mother pushing her young child in the cart through the store, and we were stopped in the same area, and I complimented her. That kid looked really cute, and so on, um, and this was a little boy, and he had really blue eyes, and so on. And I said, he looks like a really nice kid, and she liked that, and I'm smiling when I introduced. She didn't know me, or she didn't know I was a psychologist or anything like that, and
Oh,
I said, he's really great, but would he be for sale? And now I said,
I get the joke, and I
can
like it.
imagine the mom
I like
being
it.
like,
I said, but you would have to pay for his college. That's the
great
part.
response.
So
That would
so
make
we had a laugh, and she knew that I was not serious because I'm,
Right.
and that's one of
But
the.
you know what? You never know nowadays,
I
and
know.
that's why you're on the show. You're right here on the Hostile Zone with Eric A. Cinotti and Miss Bianca C. right on your iHeart dial. We're with Dr. Lou Franzini, and you. That's key, because that is a great thing you did, and some people would blow up and take that such a wrong way. You
Well,
take
yeah,
a chance.
but if you deliver it with a smile, and clearly you're not a child molester,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, I insist that somebody be over 21 if I'm going to do any potential
right.
molesting to make it. That's not true.
So I got another question for you there, Doc.
Yeah.
For families, veterans, and our viewers and listeners under pressure, walk us through what happens in the brain and the body, I guess, the whole systemic thing when we laugh. What really is the health benefit? So explain that scientifically, but in layman's terms.
Yeah, there have been studies on that exactly in experimental settings where they see funny movies or some humor stimuli and taking all these physiological measures. So the most obvious ones are that there's a muscle relaxation. There is if there's a stress, and they've used it with stress movies and so on, or an individual under stress, the stress reduction chemicals released in the body. Your heart rate
Isn't that
is
like a sort of like cortisol, which is the
exactly,
right?
exactly, yes. And so you have physical tension reduction, general comfort. And one study was done, and they claimed that the relaxation from laughing, just laughing, lasts as long as 45 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I
now
like romantic comedies and something like that. That's cool.
Wow.
it's also good to realize that a lot of there's more and more studies now being done and published. There are two major organizations, the International Society for Humor Studies, and the not American, Association for the Advancement of Therapeutic Humor. And so it's an international phenomenon, and so there's a lot of international interaction as well. And they have the annual meeting for the International Society 1 year in the United States and 1 year in another country.
Really?
The international and the American Association, the Association for the Advancement of Therapeutic Humor, is always in the United States. It's an American organization, and both of them have their journals where they publish research and theoretical articles and so on humor. So this is all relatively new, and particularly the experimental studies.
Let me ask you a question, because
Sure.
you triggered something for me. Do you have any personal experiences with this, like that you've seen this or worked it directly yourself, and you can tell people an experience or two that you personally witnessed?
Doing therapy myself.
If yourself or with a patient where you've actually saw it do something other than in a white paper.
Yeah, I have, because I used to do part-time therapy in addition to the.
You would be so kind to share. We would love to hear.
Sometimes it helps because you're changing their psychology too, in the sense of their perspective, how they define a stress, and how they can change their cognitions in a way, in so-called cognitive therapy, in a way that makes it less intimidating.
Is it like a form of biofeedback almost?
Yes, but without the equipment.
Yeah.
So because you don't need that necessarily. You
Right.
can one of the things we do in behavior modification is relaxation training, and that teaches the person how to relax their muscles with no medications and so on.
Well, don't do that now because people might be driving in the car, Doc. I don't want somebody to crash and come after me.
Well, they should pull off to the side of the road and listen to us more carefully.
Well, because you're very intriguing, and we want them to listen, but we don't want them to crash. Your malpractice insurance and mine.
No. I'm not doing that now. No, I'm just trying to stay relaxed myself. And,
Well, you're definitely dedicated to healing, and I honestly, truly have the utmost respect for you. I really do.
Me too.
I honestly, I think it's fascinating that it's both worlds that you're in. You know what I mean? Like you're a fun guy, but you're the guy that like I can talk about my serious problem with, and that truly makes you like the guy you want to go have a beer with, and the guy you want to tell your sorrows to. And I like that.
And some people get upset by having cognitions that are self-defeating and depressing, and anxiety about it, and so on. And that just you teach them relaxation, how to do it, and then how they can do it on their own as they learn all the techniques to do it. And whenever they're facing some stressful situation, or they're sleep deprived and they're feeling anxious about something, changing their cognitions, all of those are part of good therapy. But sometimes changing those cognitions, if you can just hit the right humorous comment about it, it sort of takes away the sting of it.
Okay. Let me ask you a question because you kind of made me go up. I didn't mean to cut you off, but you made me think about something.
Yeah.
What one thing, like, because you mentioned sleep, as a veteran and part of that community, I see these things, and you mentioned sleep. What one thing could this actually be beneficial to somebody like a veteran that might be listening now? What would be your antidote?
Trouble falling asleep, or
I struggle with that. I'm going to be honest with you. I do.
Well, part of it's a relaxation, and you want to find out, are they thinking about other things? Are they thinking if somebody might break in and attack me or something? If they have these irrational thoughts when they're not in any danger, they just need some sleep, and everybody does. And you can use that relaxation. You don't have to have alcohol to relax, or
I stop that. Hey, that could be a dangerous thing. Yeah.
It's not good for you. I mean, maybe a drink.
Right.
With dinner.
And we're right here, Hostile Zone with Eric A. Cinotti and Miss Bianca C. and Dr. Lou Franzini right on your iHeart dial. What an amazing, you really are an amazing guy. Really. I have another question for you. I'm going to come right at you. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, Miss Bianca just beat me up here. All right.
No, you go first.
No, you go.
You go.
All right, you go. Okay. Eric screwed up. Got it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's my turn. I get little jokes now and then.
That's good.
Not as good as yours, but
yeah, you're keeping it grounded. It's good.
Right. Well, Dr. Lou, you use the phrase judicious use of humor. What does that really mean? How can someone know when humor helps versus when it harms?
Ooh, so deep, Miss Bianca.
I know I can.
Humor can have negative results. Humor can be used in a hostile way to fit in with the program.
Okay.
I got the pun. Funny.
Science has never been able to find a cure for puns.
You know what? I'm going to say something. I had a boss that once told me many of serious things are said in jest or in a joke.
Yeah. And sometimes people will use that as a way to hurt somebody else and so on. And that's obviously not the kind of use of humor we want to promote. But that can happen. And so you want to identify when that happens, and you want to provide alternatives for somebody. If they do have a complaint with somebody, there's ways to couch that in a more polite,
couch as a psychologist,
an assertive way. But not in a hostile way. You don't have to berate the other person and take them down, or use any of the isms, racism, sexism, ageism, along the whole list. That's not the issue. There's no reason you can't be friends with anybody.
I agree. Why can't people? Everybody's party politics, whatever you believe. You could still have a good time and enjoy each other. You don't have to hate. I just was doing it on another show. And it's crazy. We need to hone it down and have fun.
Right.
That's the point.
It depends on what it is. But
We need more people like you, God. We need more people like you.
yeah.
Out there.
Well, I think it may be too late for me to help on that, but
I don't think so. And I think we're ready for segment 2. What do you think?
yeah, good enough.
You want to add something? The floor is yours. If you want to add something before we go to the next segment, we're not stuck in structure and stone here.
Are we going to take a break?
Would you like to take a short break?
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll take a station break. Don't go anywhere,
There you
folks.
go.
Eric A. Cinotti, Miss Bianca C. The Hostile Zone on your iHeart dial. Don't go anywhere. Well, Doc, this is amazing stuff. So we're going to move into another segment right here on the Hostile Zone with Eric A. Cinotti and Miss Bianca C. Like the ocean on your iHeart dial. We got Dr. Lou Franzini, the amazing comedian and psychologist. So segment 2, Doc, we're going to talk about relationships, dating, marriage, and family, etc. I honestly do review all my guests' stuff. So in your book, you say humor is often the spark that starts relationships. And I truly agree. And the glue that keeps them alive. What does healthy humor in a relationship look like to you and to others? Because maybe it's different for everybody.
As a couple or any two people, if you both appreciate the same kinds of humor, there's, typically as adults, we prefer verbal humor, more intellectual humor.
Oh, yeah.
Pointing out differences or similarities in different situations, and not so much the slapstick kind of, pie in the face kind of thing. And when you share that kind of humor with it's better. And you both benefit, and you would maybe seek out the same kinds of TV programs, maybe going to a comedy concert. I know.
Love comedy concerts. Yeah.
Speaking of that, are you on tour anywhere? Let's get the plug in there for you. Are you doing anything?
No, I haven't done that recently, and I just do it sometimes at the professional meetings. They'll have I belong to these two societies, the International Society for Humor Studies and the Association for Advancement of Therapeutic Humor. Sometimes they'll have stand-up contests, or just not necessarily a contest, but just performances. And I've been doing it. I don't make any money doing that, but I just do it for the fun and the practice. Two people or more share the same kind of interest in humor and the willingness and openness to it, whether it's about whatever topic: politics, religion, neighbors, bad habits or good habits, and whatever. That's a good thing. It brings you together.
You can find humor in anything, right, Doc?
Yeah,
I mean, really, you can.
It's helpful and cements the relationship. So all the good things physically that happen with humor, it's also so good in reducing symptoms that you may have. Not symptoms, too strong a word maybe, but anxiety or tension or depression.
Like we were talking about the cortisol numbers coming down.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
Releasing some dopamine or something, right? And for the neural
blood pressure goes down, and relaxation increases. And when you use humor to that effect, it improves your self-concept, your self-esteem.
Well, you know what, Doc? We're putting you on the spot. Miss Bianca has a question. I think this has to do with her husband. Honestly. So here comes the question for you.
It doesn't surprise me at all.
You met the guy too, huh?
For couples who are stressed or drifting apart, how can they use humor to reconnect without dismissing real problems?
Ooh, tight. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I guess when you say something humorous, you want to make sure it doesn't have another meaning, and say it with with a smile, and that smile kind of gives you a free rein to people know you don't really mean it, and I don't know what the trouble might be, but you could say, "Yeah, I heard you talking in your sleep last night, and I was concerned about da 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 da," or I'm just making that up, like so much. Um, but if you share the same kind of humor, you can also share getting back to
Yeah, you were saying, Doc?
couples that may be drifting apart, and we can use humor to come back. And the idea would be to make a comment that is useful to overcoming the brief separation or something, but using humor about it in a hostile and a critical way. Don't say, "Well, you're always like this, and whenever da da da," uh, rather than picking up on some aspect of the issues and the differences, and treating it lightly and saying, um, let's talk this out, or let's talk about it, let's save the
You know
money
what that makes me think of? You made me think of that, the I and you statements. You almost have to have an I and you statement in your joke almost, right? Not like you are like this, you remind me of that. But anyway, I have a follow-up question kind of with that. That's why I wanted to jump in. Many people use humor to mask cruelty. I'm just joking. Can't you take a joke? But where's
Right.
the line between humor that heals and humor that's going to harm somebody? Like, where is that?
Well, part of it's the intent of the speaker, and the speaker knows when they're trying to be hostile and critical and negative versus hey, here's something funny, and enjoying something lighter and humorous. There's no doubt in the speaker's mind when they're being hostile and non-productive and non-constructive, and they're just making that point as if it's a battle, and I'm going to make you feel bad, and remember the time when da 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 da.
Yeah.
So so keeping the focus on the positive, that is, you're together, and if there's a little drifting apart for one reason or another, you both presumably want to bring that back together,
Right.
and you can. The speaker certainly knows when they're being hostile, and the listener knows it too, because they feel the pain of just an attacking or overly critical or harsh comment, disregarding.
You're actually
Yeah.
segueing into Bianca's follow-up question.
Yeah.
I like that you almost, are you guys like communicating telepathically or something?
So. He's like reading my mind right here.
Because wait till you hear her follow-up for you.
Yes, Dr. Lou. What about kids and teens? How can parents model kind humor in culture full of sarcasm and roasting?
Well, it would be to have less of that as a model for the kids, because the kids are learning how to treat each other as adults, and because the parents are the adults. And when they see, okay, everybody's not, a couple is not going to agree on everything to the same degree all the time.
Right.
That's so impossible. You want to model things like hearing out the other person without making harsh comments to them, listening, period, and not try to dominate and out talk them or out yell them or something, because you should have a mutual goal, most likely you would have a mutual goal of bringing the drifting part back together to where they were, yesterday or last week or last month or whenever it was.
You know what's funny about that? It's almost, you rolled us right into another segment.
Okay.
I want to leave you right there because it's almost perfect timing. Almost like you're speaking telepathically with me. We're going to talk about the cancel culture world, right? Culture and cancel lines and the changing boundaries. So it's almost perfect. What you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
Appropriate humor obviously has changed drastically for people raised in a different comedy era, and we're all different ages, but I think we all, no matter how, we're all in the same age group, I believe, in the world of what you could say and do, which is way different now. Now that with the everything is censored and cancel culture. So how do you feel about that? Like, what are your thoughts? What say you?
I think it gets overdone, and it also can be manipulative. It's not just saving to appropriate courtesies and so on. That's avoiding the negative is. So if you have humor skills, it's sort of like I don't know what a good example is. Helpful item, a shovel. Hey, the shovel you can use to dig and make things better and so on, or you can use it as a weapon.
That reminds me of the movie. What was it with Kid and Play? And they were like, "Why would you call his mom call him a hoe?" And she's like, "Why would you call it garden utensil?"
Yeah.
I don't know. I dated myself, but you made me think of that just now when you said shovel. Oh, God.
At least I got you thinking. That's a good
You
thing.
did, right, and that is true. And you made us all laugh. But go on.
Humor can be used in a negative way, in a harsh way, in a cutting way, in a way that disrupts a relationship with a stranger or with your spouse or somebody you know, a good friend or whatever. So it does have a quality, like sort of like anything. A pill. A pill might be helpful to you, but you take a half dozen of them, you might get hurt by that pill. So that's good in a sense because it's powerful enough to have a positive effect. But when you use it in a negative way, it can have a powerful negative effect.
Right.
That's
Doctor, I have a question. People are afraid to say anything at work or online. How can they still be funny without risking their reputation?
That's good. Or getting fired or sued, right? Yeah.
Well, online, then that means you're there's not a verbal thing; it's written.
Yeah.
There's a risk there. You don't get to smile. Now they got emojis now. You can add a smile to it, I suppose, if you want. But
everybody throws LOL on every text now.
You lose something in the printed version of something. You have to cover it, making clear that you know how they might be feeling. I don't like the way you dress when you go out to dinner with me.
That's like when my mom writes in all caps, capital letters on every text message. Yeah, hate that. Never know if I'm being yelled at or not. I have to shout her out in every show. She doesn't listen until I talk about her on the show, just so she listens. I got something for you, and it's going to go down a good area. You've performed stand-up in multiple countries with cultures: Belgium, Singapore, Jamaica. Myself, I've been to several countries. What did you learn from these cultures, and how did it shape your humor, and how did it shape you? And how did you find your humor to be taken in the different cultures?
Well, I didn't perform. I didn't do any stand-up in
but you were there, right? I mean, you're a jokester. So you had to, that's what I mean.
Yeah, well, I used it a lot, and I'm honing it over the years. I'll give you an anecdote from in Singapore. I had a contract for 1 year there, and as that was coming to an end at the university, and as it was coming to the end, my wife was working at a consulting company, and I could do that too with business consulting, and so I had an interview on the Saturday. We were downtown in Singapore, and we went by a bookstore. So we went into the bookstore to look around, and there was a big display of books on the topic of how to get the job. And my wife said, "Well, why don't you get that? You're going to have this interview tomorrow." So I was leafing through it, and I said, "No, I'm not going to buy it. This is just for people who want that job."
Right.
Which wasn't me. I didn't want it so much because they wanted me to go to Beijing 3 weeks out of 4, and I didn't want to do that. I did ask the guy who was interviewing me, well, if I took this job, would I be the boss of Jessica, my wife? And he said, "No, I'm the boss of Jessica."
I believe that's a red light, green light, amber light legal question. We can go down on another show.
Right. Well, Doc, is there anything universal, something people everywhere tend to find funny?
Diarrhea jokes, like you said before.
Well, not necessarily in topics. Sometimes if you are in a situation where everybody's experiencing the same thing, maybe it's in a crowded store or on a bus or something like that. People don't necessarily share political views or religious views or nudity views.
Everybody thinks a fart is funny, though, Doc. A fart joke always goes over well. Who doesn't laugh at a fart joke? You're laughing right now, Doc. If somebody farted right now in the set and we all heard it, we would all laugh.
I just heard of one the other day. There was this couple, and they say it was an old couple, and they were in church together, and the woman leans over to her husband and says, I just left a long silent fart, and what should I do? And the husband says, well, what you should do is change the battery in your hearing aid.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one, and it's a perfect move into the
loud or silent.
into our next segue. Thank you. Into our next one. We're going to talk about policy, ethics, movement, mental health, and loneliness. All right, we're going to bring it back a little bit more scientific with the funniness. So, Doc, we're facing, seriously, we honestly are facing a mental health crisis in the United States, in the world, loneliness. And you've cited research showing strong social connections. And we know that COVID was a killer of a lot of that. And so strong social connections, often built through humor, can improve health and even lengthen life. So how serious do you think the link between humor and survival truly is in a post-COVID world?
The political climate these days in the United States, worse than I've ever remembered it, in the sense of two sides and seeming irremedial. For example, from the military background, you explained you were in the military and did quite a career there, and right now you have the controversy. It's on the news today. Always, should you resist an illegal order?
Wow. Great conversation. We're going to do this on Unplugged with you too. Right.
Part of the oath of when you go into the military or the presidency for that matter, you accept all the standard information, and it becomes it's not an easy problem to solve. And so, one side is saying you should refuse to follow an illegal order. On the other side is saying you should follow all the orders that the commanders give you.
Let's say that, though. Follow all the orders of the officers appointed above me, but I do agree on lawful order. I agree. Yeah.
And one of the problems is the person who at the lowest level, there's not the president, he's not the general, is the grunt guy. He may be the least qualified to judge whether a particular order is legal or illegal. And so supposedly this standard should be followed by everybody and follow all the orders that are legal. But who's to say what's legal and not? And that's what
really, I think that was meant for, and putting my lawyer hat on, I think that's meant for, like, obviously to go kill unarmed people and do, things like that is very convoluted. The Constitution is a very, very interesting document, to say the least. And you're an academic yourself, is a lot of gray area. So you make a great point. And for the folks out there, this is the Hostile Zone. Eric A. Cinotti, Miss Bianca C. We're here with Dr. Lou Franzini, who will be on Eric A. Cinotti Unplugged on your iHeart and FM dial next week as well. And we're going to talk about that, I think, when we bring you on Unplugged. I think that's going to be key. How you doing on time? You feeling good? I have a couple more to go. I don't want to beat you down.
I want to be fresh in the morning.
All right, maybe 10 more minutes. Does 10 more minutes work for you?
Oh,
good?
Yeah.
All right. Miss Bianca, you had something you go?
Yes, Dr. Lou. For someone watching who feels isolated or disconnected, what is one small way they can start using humor to reconnect safely?
Connected, to be connected where? With whom?
To be connected safely.
Reconnect.
Meaning with someone, say, who you haven't seen for a while, or that you broke up with, or just...
I think you're talking about like relationships at the kitchen table relationship sort of thing.
And so you've drifted apart and have been separated or something and want to come back. I guess the use of humor and the reception of it, you will know that other person by definition. So you could talk in terms of, you know, I've missed you so much, and I'm willing to come back and do the dishes all the time, or make
Right.
some silly argument. My clothes have been piling up. I have no idea how to operate the washing machine. I mean,
Aw.
something that will make the point that I want to get back together with you. And I can't operate on my own, obviously. I have to eat at McDonald's every night because I don't know how to cook. And I
Right.
want to get back with you, and you can help me cook. And I'll do the dishes if you do the cooking. Uh, Using some
Sweet.
lighter way to make the point you prefer. And I've tried it alone, or we've tried it separated, and we were doing pretty well when we were together. So let's get back together.
So, Doc, we're coming to a hard close. So I have one for the viewers at home coming for you, okay? And
Sure.
then we'll close it out. For the viewers at home, give us like 3 or 5 concrete actions that they can take away to use humor to improve their relationships, their health, and their happiness.
Give compliments, show appreciation, maybe a little gift. I used that trick today myself. Totally unexpected, no special occasion, just something special can open the doors in a way that you wouldn't have anticipated. Something you couldn't ask for or demand, but it'll happen. The good times, they can roll.
So let me ask you before we close it out, how do the folks reach you? If somebody wants to reach you, how can they contact you?
By email, I guess, maybe the safest way.
Okay.
It's simple, loufranzini@gmail.com.
FARANZINI, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
And
I personally thank you. I'm humbled by the experience. I'm looking forward to you on Unplugged. Do you have any final statements before we move on?
no, I appreciate your appreciation. Very kind of you, and it's fun, and I like that you guys have a sense of humor too. That's the whole point. And
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
use it for good,
Yes,
not
sir.
Always.
for harm.
And Doc, I will see you on Unplugged. Thank you
All
again
right.
for coming.
Mañana.
Yep.
Muchas gracias, señor.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Miss Bianca, what a great episode. What a good episode it was. So, Dr.
I had a
Franzini.
little tickle today. So
Did
yeah.
you? Dr. Franzini, I just thought, I want to thank him for giving America not just a laugh, but like a survival strategy, right? It really is. But here's the truth, America. We live in a hostile world. Danger is real. Stress is real. Grief is real. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere soon. Isolation is real. But silence and fear are never, ever the answer. Humor always is a tool, but it's not the escape from reality. And that's what I want. I'm looking right into the camera. If you're listening or watching at home, humor is great. It's a tool, but it is not an escape from reality. And that's why Dr. Franzini is a great tool in itself, because he can give you the humor, but he also can give you the clinical backing that you need. We don't want you to hide through humor. Used wisely, humor builds and rebuilds trust and strengthens families. It really does lower your blood pressure, and it does calm the nervous system. And it reminds you that you're still alive. Right? It reminds you you're still alive. It's one of those very few tools that really, I can say, works in a foxhole, in a courtroom, in a hospital room, or even at the kitchen table. I've used humor in the courtroom with opposing counsel on the other side. We were quoting lines from movies in the courtroom, and the person didn't even know it. It was just fun. We were counteracting each other. It was humorous. It was fun, but it's a tool. Don't weaponize humor against people you love, or don't weaponize it against anybody. Use it to build connections. Use it to heal. Use it to remind each other that we are still human, and we are trying very hard to be humans and not to dehumanize. Laugh with respect, but laugh with purpose, and laugh together. Laugh together. This is the Hostile Zone. I'm Eric A. Cinotti, as always, Miss Bianca C. As always, folks, 180. 180 is 360 times 365. Your head is on a swivel 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, because danger doesn't take a day off, and neither can we. God bless you. God bless America, and thank you for coming to the show. We'll see you next time.
Oh, say Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, yet through the night, that our flag was still there.
And she's not going anywhere.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner